In MoneyWatch, some cities across the U.S. are hoping a cash incentive will attract remote workers to move. Dozens of cities stretching from Maine to Oregon are offering thousands of dollars and special perks, including free land. A new CBS News MoneyWatch article shines a light on some of the cities hoping to lure workers to them and how you can cash in if you're interested. For more on this, I want to bring in CBS News MoneyWatch reporter Megan Cerullo. Thank you so much for joining us, Megan. This is a fascinating concept as we all kind of play with the idea of reimagining how we work. So can you explain some of the requirements or qualifications for people to be eligible for some of these programs and their locations?
So they vary by city and state, but first and foremost, if you're applying to an incentive program in West Virginia, you cannot be a resident of West Virginia. You have to be a remote worker. The other thing you have to provide is proof of remote employment. So you have to be employed by a company. You can't work for yourself. And then other incentive programs have smaller requirements, like an interest in the outdoors if you're moving to West Virginia, for example. So there's a range.
So I'm going to guess that the motivation for these cities is to increase their population, increase their tax base, presuming that these remote workers are probably pretty well paid, as we've seen in the pandemic, that some people have benefited big time from the pandemic because they have the option of working remotely. But I'll ask you, why are these cities doing this? What are they hoping to get out of it?
That's right. Many are in Middle America, and they've been overlooked, and they've struggled to compete with the New York, San Francisco's, Chicago's of the world. And in Tulsa, Oklahoma, for example, there are a lot of universities, but Tulsa struggles with postgraduate retention. So they are hoping to lure workers with incentives like a $10,000 moving bonus so that And workers will see benefits like cost savings, for example. They can buy their first home, start a family, and many will go on to start companies and hire remotely. And so the aim is to boost local economies.
Makes a lot of sense. $10,000, though, it's a lot of money. Where is the funding coming from for these incentives?
Many are privately funded by local economic development groups, private family foundations like the George Kaiser Family Foundation. So they're well endowed. And Tulsa Remote, which is perhaps the best well-known program, the city is already seeing a return on investment. In 2021 alone, the program is expected to have added in the $65 million in new local earnings, and that's just for 1 year.
So speaking of Tulsa Remote, it actually started before the pandemic. It started in 2018, but I'm sure the pandemic really helped to boost interest in the program.
Remote work wasn't something that was popular or widespread among the population before the pandemic. I'm now working remotely today, as many of us are. And so because it's sort of normalized or brought remote work into the mainstream, though the program has been open since 2018, they saw a 5-fold increase in applications in 2020. So it really has boosted the pool of applicants, the pool of people who work remotely and have the ability to reconsider where they want to live and work.
So, there is sort of a plan, though, for many companies to have either hybrid working or return to the office. That deadline for many companies has sort of kept on bouncing down the road because the coronavirus just doesn't seem to want to go away. But I'm wondering if these cities are concerned that if we start going back into the office en masse, that these residents will take their money and their benefits and whatever and head back to wherever they came from.
That's right. We are seeing big companies, Google, Ford Motor Company, among others, delaying their return to office dates, and that's largely because of the rise of the Omicron variant and other unknowns around the virus. And so workers who live in cities in San Francisco, in New York, for example, where the cost of living is really very high, are are saying to themselves, well, if I can work from anywhere, then I might want to move to Oklahoma, West Virginia, Maine, where I can maybe where I can do the same job, but save on the cost of living. The problem is, though, that companies are threatening to cut pay for workers who make those cost of living adjustments.
Yeah, they are doing that. The other thing that I thought of was what is the impact of these new transplants on the existing communities? I mean, you got people making, at least for now, San Francisco money or New York money, showing up there buying houses in Tulsa. I mean, it's got to have an impact on the cost of homes or maybe the culture. How are the local communities feeling about these sorts of programs?
Many of these programs are in their infancy, but like you said, the Tulsa Remote, which has been around since 2018, is one of the more established programs that's been studied. And what researchers found was that it didn't supplant anything on the ground. So it wasn't taking anything away from the community, but it was additive. It brought in millions of dollars in new local earnings and even created jobs because workers who were employed remotely would move, but then they also had the bandwidth to start their own companies. So it fosters this entrepreneurial and collaborative environment. And so they've started companies, and then they've started hiring locally, creating opportunities for the working age population locally, so that they don't have to leave. And that's the main aim of these programs in the first place, is to increase their retention.
Oh, Megan, I bet you got a lot of people Googling right now as they're sitting in their shoebox-sized apartment, realizing that maybe they could have a whole house if they moved to Tulsa or one of these other places. Megan, thank you very much.
I think that's right. Thanks, Anne-Marie.
So listen, if you want to learn more about remote work incentives, you can read Megan's article at cbsnews.com.